This is Tammy Scott, Nursing Home Administrator with BLAHC. This is episode 10. We have a lot of things that we would like to discuss on this episode that's very, very interesting. First thing we will discuss is the reason behind nursing homes closures. As you know, President Biden had a speech, and he stated that he would like to have more nurses in a nursing home. But that is a huge issue because a lot of owners, nursing home owners and operators are saying that the rate of Medicaid needs to increase due to all of the expenses that comes with, having in a nursing home. But the federal side is stating that the nursing home owners are not showing them their expenses on allowing them to understand what all expenses do a nursing home have based on their beds, where there is a need to increase the Medicaid rate. So that is a big issue. So of course there's nursing home closure. Is a lot of nursing home closures that's happening, of course, because of all the issues with the pandemic. Since the pandemic is not as, I wouldn't say, it's still going on. It's definitely still going on, but it's not as taboo as it was at first. So a lot of government funding are not going to certain nursing homes. So that being said, a lot of nursing homes are out there defending for themselves. So it's a lot of nursing home closures that's happening, and the main reason is due to staffing shortages and financial statements. A lot of people not budgeting like they supposed to, and they just don't have the finances. And I would like to talk about that. So let's talk about that. Yes, nursing home administrators have a huge issue when it comes to staffing shortages, and it's a lot of things that goes on with the staffing shortages. You can have a nursing home that's up the street, fully staffed, no agency. Then you can have a nursing home that's around the corner that have agency. And when you have agency, you are paying out all this money to have agency to come into your building that you will also have to pay immediately, because most of these agencies, their nurses or CNAs get paid weekly instead of bi-weekly, and that could be a lot, and plus their pay rate is more. So now it's a huge issue when it comes to that, because they are paying out way more money with agency than they will have a in-house CNA, nurse, or anything of some sort. So it's really big on nursing shortages. So a lot of nursing agencies are coming around. So of course there's nothing in place by law to basically for nursing homes to say, okay, you agencies cannot do this, you agencies cannot do that. So it's a big issue when it comes to that. And a lot of nursing homes who are not bringing in that type of income are losing a lot of money. So when they lose a lot of money, of course, that becomes an issue with nursing shortages and everything. As a nursing home administrator, I wanted to talk to you guys about nursing shortages. So let's talk about it. Like I said, there could be a nursing home that's up the street that do not have any problem with nursing home shortages. It could be one around the corner that have agency. So what's the huge difference? I'm going to tell you the huge difference is because of the environment. Depending on the type of environment this nursing home has, that's the reason why it probably have a lot of agencies that's there. Not all of them. Not all. I'm not saying all, but some. Because it's crazy that you will have a nursing home up the street and don't have agency, but then you have agency at this nursing home. And also, a lot of owners do not want to do a wage analysis. So they don't want to compete with the hospitals or the assisted livings or anything of some sort, because they have this whole big regional team or new teams that they trying to bring in. You never know how much they paying them and how much they trying to profit themselves. So plus, when a new owner takes on a new nursing home, so their first thing is trying to get the profit, because they have to do all this renovation, they have to do all this stuff to basically get everything switched over and everything to have a nursing home. So basically, they trying to hurry up and get all the money and profit all the money that first year, and that can be very, very hectic from them. So you ask Tammy, why is there a shortage of nurses or staffing? Me, honestly, I just want to be honest and real. As a nursing home administrator, there should not be a reason why there's a nursing home 5 miles from each other, 3 miles from each other. If this nursing home is looking for residents and this nursing home is looking for residents, then you might as well just have one nursing home that's right there for all those residents to go there. It's just like you having a church and another church is next door or across the street. It's crazy because it's within the community. The community should come together and say, look, we only want one nursing home and this is the nursing home that we want. It shouldn't be you can have a nursing home just up the street. So just like certain franchises that they have, a certain franchise like a McDonald's cannot be cross street from another McDonald's. They're not going to let that happen. But I understand, because that's a franchise and different nursing homes have different rules and regulations. So I think that CMS needs to come and step in, because it's too many nursing homes that's too close to one another. And when they too close to one another, it could be a huge issue of fighting for staff. Plus, if this nursing home is really 30 minutes away, because a lot of people will drive 30 minutes to a nursing home to work, plus if they're getting paid for a certain amount. But having a nursing home that's within 5 minutes away from each other, that's terrible. And there's a lot of that happening. So a lot of individuals can now pick which nursing home they want to go to. Or sometimes they'll go to another nursing home, then they go to another nursing home. A lot of these nurses and CNAs are basically recycling. Like they just going to this nursing home, that nursing home, this assisted living, this assisted living, and it's just a recycle, just a huge recycle. They want to go where it's, they feel like it's comfortable, or probably get they good money, which they probably want to do that. But at the same token, some of these individuals bring bad blood to nursing homes. And as a nursing home administrator, I have been through that, and I know about it because my expertise is working on a troubling building. So I've been through a lot when it comes to trying to turn over a troubling nursing home. So I'm very, very used to that. That's my expertise. It doesn't faze me when it comes to those issues, because that's part of it, why I do what I do. So that's the reason why I know so much, and plus me being in the industry for so long. So they said that it needs to be an increase of Medicaid. I'm gonna be honest, the increase of Medicaid rate, no, you don't need an increase of Medicaid rate, pay rate. The issue is when they come Medicaid pending. So when they come Medicaid pending, that means that this resident have been staying at this nursing home for quite some time, can be months at a time, and you basically having this resident here every day, and basically thinking, hopefully, that they will be able to become Medicaid, switch over to Medicaid, and you will get the money. Sometimes a lot of nursing homes don't get back pay. Some on will, but some on won't. So this is a lot of money that they are going through. And a lot of these admission coordinators are pushing to have certain residents that's in there. They'll hurry up and do it, hurry up and do it. They want the business office manager to hurry up and run their financials to see would they come in Medicaid, what kind of resources they have. And this process take a while. Take a long time. It does. So that's the reason why I feel that you do not need another nursing home that's right next to each other. That competition is terrible. So that right there can cause a huge staffing shortage. A huge staffing shortage. So if you have a staffing shortages, that means it's too many nursing homes that are around. And if you shut down, if the mission is not high, then what's the point of having that nursing home open? So that's the reason why some nursing homes will get fined if they under a certain amount of beds, because they need to at least be under a certain amount of percent of beds in order to stay open. And so they go and they compete with a lot of individuals to make sure they get those beds in, get those beds filled. And as a nursing home administrator who understands business operations, I definitely understand that. But that is a huge thing right there. So my thing is, Medicaid rate do not need to be increased, but a lot of supplies have increased, and plus food. When the egg shortage increased with the eggs, of course you need residents who loves breakfast. Eggs cannot be substituted. So that increase your bill so high. So if you have individuals on Medicaid, of course. So I can see how owners would say increase the Medicaid rate because of the food costs, the raw food costs, and the supplies as well. Because when these things increase, then you want staff to want a higher pay rate, then they need to increase on the Medicaid rate. But the thing is, CMS needs to make it easier to transit to Medicaid pending to Medicaid. So I think that if they do that, it would be a lot easier and understandable. So I think someone needs to speak on that right there when it comes to the nursing home closures. Because yes, staffing shortages can cause an issue with patient care and patient safety. And you don't want to have that happen in your building. Nor do you want to continue to rely on agency. So that's the thing of that end. So if I understand Biden stated that he would like more nurses that's in the nursing home, that understand, but these nurses are competing with hospital nurses. So the thing is now, when you have that situation, they need to make it easier to now have more med techs. Certain states do have med techs, some do not. But a lot of these nursing homes need to make it mandatory to have med techs per state. It needs to go to the nursing, board of nursing, to have med tech programs. So these med tech programs need to happen if you want to now compete with nurses. Med tech programs are valuable and they are very important. So this right there is one thing. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So now we are going into part 2. Hello everyone, now we're going into part 2. Okay, so this is very interesting. So I was speaking to some nurses. They was voicing their opinions about this case. So I'm gonna go in detail about this case. Okay, so I have all my notes here. You know I like to have my notes. So it was a nurse. Basically, her name is Aminata Fofana. Aminata Fofana. Okay, so I got that right. Okay, so she was a nurse. Okay, she was basically she was working at Lewis Center Nursing, basically at Capri Gardens Rehab and Nursing Home. Okay, So that's the thing on their end. Like I said, she was working at Lewis Center Nursing, which basically is called the Capri Gardens Rehab of Nursing. This right here is Fofana. As you can see, she is very emotional and apologetic. She is the nurse that was charged for the resident death on the involuntary manslaughter. She's from Sierra Leone. She came here years ago to the United States for a better life for her children. Her attorney that's in the black spoke very, very highly of her, spoke about how apologetic she was and everything. You will also get a chance to see the resident wife, which is right here, Luana, of 31 years. They was married for 31 years. She basically said that she's not at a point right now that she's ready to forgive, but she's glad that she's been convicted. Like I said, you can see Luana right now. She's very, very emotional. She was very emotional throughout the case. So, what happened, it was an incident that occurred on... What day did it occur? Okay, it occurred on May the 20th of 2021. May the 2021. Okay, so basically what happened? She was working night shift, probably 7p to 7a. Okay, 7p to 7a. At 6:45 a.m. most likely it's shift change. Most time the nurses are coming in, your ongoing nurses, it's time for them to basically do a shift change report. So they will go count meds, learn about the residents, this, that, the third, about the residents. So at 6:45, she found that one of her residents trach mask oxygen was sore. So if a lot of you guys don't know what the trach mask oxygen is when they have the oxygen on their trachea. It's not over their face. It's right here for them to breathe. So they need that to breathe. It's life-threatening if they don't have that. So of course they have the little things that's around it, dressing that's around it, and it can get soiled. So she thought it was soiled, so she wanted to replace it. So when she replaced it, she disconnected the trach oxygen mask, and she forgot to replace it. So the oncoming nurse that came in an hour later found that the resident had passed due to suffocation. So this right here is kind of interesting with everything how it unfolded. Okay, so she was going to get charged with 2 charges. They were going to charge her with homicide, reckless homicide, and they was going to charge her with involuntary manslaughter. And she pleaded not guilty for both of those charges. So of course, when the wife pressed charges, of course she was arrested, and when she was arrested, she ended up getting out, no bail. She got out on ROR, on her own recognition. And when she got out, of course, she had to go through the court system and the trial and everything or some sort. So she decided, instead of her going to trial, everything, she wanted to take a guilty plea. So she took a guilty plea, which was involuntary manslaughter, which is a 3rd-degree felony. This happened in Columbus, Delaware. Okay, let me throw that out. They have Columbus, Delaware. And what she received was, she received 3 years of basic level of community control. 3 years of community, basic level community control. She had to basically surrender her license. She can no longer work as a nurse or do anything volunteer or paid that have anything to do with caring for any patient safety, anything. Anybody with patients that have patients, she can't do that anymore. So she surrendered her license. She have to take any type of probation classes that her probation officer tell her she needs to take. She also had to do 100 hours of community service, and she got a $500 fine. Okay, so a lot of nurses who I spoke to, they felt like she was the scapegoat. Why did it was other? They felt like it was other people who also should have been charged, and they felt like by her being African American that they used her as a scapegoat. And her license should never have been surrendered, because things happen, and because of nursing homes have a shortage of staffing, she probably was overwhelmed, and that's the reason why she didn't replace it. And they felt like she was some type of scapegoat. So my opinion as a nursing home administrator is the fact that, yeah, it was 6:45 during shift change, and nurses supposed to have their nursing notes. So basically it gives you the updates on all your nurses. So when they do a shift change, they're supposed to go on all the nurses, all the residents that they have, see what's going on, if there's new medications, what's going on, everything. This resident should have been on their books. So the nurse that's coming in should already have the update on this resident. Some telling me as a nursing home administrator, if this would happen like 6:45-ish, if she already started shift change, because they said the nurse came in an hour later. So if the nurse came an hour later, some is telling me that they was doing shift change and she was counting meds, and when she seen that nurse, she started hurry up counting meds, and probably forgot the resident that was in there. That's what it's telling me. But in the meantime, some nurses feel like, where were the CNAs at the time who were supposed to have eyes on them if they supposed to have came in around 7 o'clock, 7:30-ish? There should have been someone else who had eyes on them. So you still have CNAs, and you have the oncoming nurse who's supposed to have seen that resident around 7 o'clock-ish or 7:15-ish. So around 6:45, 7:15, there should have been other individuals. But my thing is, as a nursing home administrator, I understand they probably already got these statements, but at the same time, a CNA cannot change a dressing, that type of dressing. But they can also let the other nurses know, oh, this individual oxygen is not, taken care of. But I want to be honest with a lot of individuals. If this is 6:45 that this is happening, and as administrator, I know I have issues with CNAs coming on time. Definitely have issue. And some CNAs feel like they can leave the building. You can't leave the building until your relief comes. And if this individual is not on hourly checks, most likely it's 2-hour checks. So if a CNA already left the room around 6:30 to change and do all this and everything, they're like, okay, probably CNA left and say, look, and told the nurse, look, the trach is sore, it needs to be changed. And she said, okay, I'm going to go and change it. And it's around 6:45 and she's trying to get ready to leave. So she went ahead and tried to change it. My thing is, a lot of nurses felt like she was a scapegoat. My thing is, as a nursing home administrator, everyone is taught to make sure you have your supplies in order before you go into a resident room to do any type of changing. If there's wounds, cleaning, anything, you make sure you have all your supplies, so you won't go back and forth, or you have gloves on contaminating anything. You want to make sure you have everything that's there. So if a CNA did tell her that this resident was soiled, okay, let me go get all of my supplies that I need to take care of it. Or if there's you leaving at 6:45, you can ask the nurse, like, look, his trach is sore. Can you take care of that for me? So that's where communication come in at. But I understand that it could be a huge communication issue with certain nurses. So that was the thing on that end. And I was trying to find out, was this nurse was agency? Most likely they didn't say it was agency, because the family is suing, the wife is now suing the nursing home for wrongful death, a lawsuit against both of them. So she's now doing a civil lawsuit against the nurse and also the nursing home. So so it's not over with. So they have a court date set in March this month. So we will have that information to come up as well. So I would basically stay on this as well. So that's the thing on that end, is she admitted that she did it because she took it off and she didn't replace it. So to me, that's a nurse taking accountability for her actions. And I appreciate her taking accountability for her action. And I understand that she didn't want to do the charge of reckless homicide. I totally get that. And she was very, very apologetic to the wife and to everybody about what happened. Should there have been someone probably to have their eyes on the resident? At the same time, like I said, if the resident is not on hourly checks and they mostly get seen at 2 hours. If a CNA already did their last round, they supposed to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. Most likely they probably already did their round by 6 o'clock that morning or 6:30. So they probably already did their round. Then she came and did that. They already did their last round. So now you have the oncoming CNA that come in. So now you have the oncoming CNA that come in. That oncoming CNA could have came in at 7 o'clock and then put their eyes on it and say, hey, look, this resident don't have their oxygen is not connected. So yes, there are other individuals who should have put their eyes on this resident. But at the same token, if you're gathering these statements, you don't know if these CNAs are running late. So if these CNAs are running late, that CNA that's on third shift is still in their window of they already checked their resident at 6:30 that morning. So even if the CNAs that's coming in is running late, yes, they running late and they wrong. But that's an absenteeism. That's tardiness. That's HR. So if they don't get there at 7 o'clock and they get there at 7:30, or they get there at 7:45, whatever, that outgoing nurse, a CNA, is still in a great window after they already did their change. So I said already, if they not on hourly checks and this person is on 2 hour checks, not hourly checks, most likely they would be able to see him every 2 hours. So it would make sense that a CNA probably haven't put their eyes on this particular individual. As a nurse home administrator, yes, that irks my nerves, because I feel like when a nurse come in, go and walk down and go see how all your residents are doing. Before you do count meds or anything of some sort, you go clock in, you walk up and down that hall and put your eyes on the resident immediately before you start counting meds. Then after you do that, because you have to go and see all these residents to make sure they're A1, so you can tell the outgoing nurse, oh, you forgot about this, you forgot about that, you forgot about this, you forgot about that. Then the outgoing nurse will go handle those situations, or will let her know, look, I wasn't able to get to this, can you help me with this? So that's how I was looking at it, because I'm an administrator. But of course, a lot of nurses, they felt like she was a scapegoat. But she did admit, and she did apologize. And sometimes, you know, a lot of people have to be very, very careful. And, you know, a lot of nurses come to her rescue because they found it, you know, they've been through some things. They saw some things and been through some things. So it's not that easy being a nurse. And they just felt like she was the scapegoat. But the thing is, the individuals hired her to do a job. And that's when you have license that's in place, liability license that's in place, for you to say, okay, we have this individual right here that we hired to do this job. And she have license, she have the skills and everything to do it. So you make sure you have that liability insurance in place, so you will not, if something does happen like this, the liability insurance will kick in. But of course, like I said, the wife is also suing for wrongful death, lawsuit against the nurse, and also the nursing home the nursing home. So that's the thing on that end. So I want everybody to give me their opinion about the situation. Like I said, the owners are now feeling some type of way, because of course they are looking at it like, okay, we hired this nurse to do this, and that's her job, is to replace the trach oxygen mask, and to remember that she took it off and to go replace it. So like I said, I'm staying on this case as well, like I am the other case that we was talking about. So I want you guys to give me your opinion, how you feel about this situation, about this nurse. So give me your opinion. Please put it at the bottom. Give me your opinion, how you really, really feel about it, and also how you feel about the nursing home closures. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. This is a short episode because I really want to get you guys opinions about these two things, because I'm continue to do my research on it. So thank you guys for watching this. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you guys. And also thank you guys. As you can see, I have more subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing. I have been marketing, doing all this other stuff. And thank you guys. I know it's not a lot of subscribers, but I do appreciate you guys. So thank you guys so much. As you guys see it, I've been doing this ever since the beginning of January. As of January 1st, I had every Monday I had a new episode that come out. So thank you guys for so much. Comment, like, share. Make sure you go to all my other platforms and subscribe. Go to Instagram, Twitter. Type in BLAHC, BLAHC. You can also reach me on LinkedIn as Tammy Scott, Licensed Nursing Home Administrator, LNHA MHSA. So I'm also on LinkedIn. So you can reach me on LinkedIn as well. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, like, comment, and share. Make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much. Bye.